Hello, my name is Jim Downs and I'm a field specialist in forestry for Ohio State University Extension. Today I'm back on my tree farm in Rockbridge, Ohio to introduce an important non-native invasive species, which is Japanese honeysuckle. As you can see, right now it is early December. There's a fair amount of snow on the ground, well past the autumn when most of our deciduous trees have lost their leaves, yet this Japanese honeysuckle is still quite green. That is one of the common features to Japanese honeysuckle, and one of the common occurrences with many of our non-native invasive plants is that they will tend to keep their leaves green throughout an extended period of the growing season, giving them a competitive advantage. Japanese honeysuckle is one of those plants that does an extraordinarily good job, and it's quite possible to see the leaves of Japanese honeysuckle remaining on the plant into January and maybe even into February. This plant is very common across most of the eastern United States. It's especially prevalent in the southeast part of the United States, where it is an evergreen, but it is also located in the southwestern part of the United States. This plant was originally introduced to New York, actually Long Island, New York, in 1806. It was brought over from Japan for ornamental purposes, erosion control, and for the benefit of wildlife. To identify Japanese honeysuckle, we're going to be looking for a twining vine. So this is a vine that will physically be wrapping itself around other plants and using other plants to support it. This vine is a constricting vine, and so it can constrict the growth of the trees that it's growing in and cause somewhat of a corkscrew nature appearance to the trees that it is constricting. The bark of this plant will be kind of a lightish green to brown and fuzzy when you're looking at the new growth. As the plant gets older and looking at those twigs, it will get more of a tannish color, becoming somewhat of a flaky to peely colored bark. The leaves are oppositely arranged, somewhere usually between 1.5 to 3 inches in length, much longer than they are wide, and they will be smooth along the margins, so there will be no serrations along the edges of the leaves. One other additional thing to notice about the twig is that the center of the twigs, anywhere between the nodes, so any place in between where the buds are set or where the leaves are arranged on the plant, those areas will be hollow. So when we look at the fruits are a small bluish to black colored berry that contain on average 2 to 3 seeds. Those fruits are typically located in pairs, and they will be located at the leaf axils, or basically they will emanate at the base of the leaf. With Japanese honeysuckle, this is an invasive plant that is becoming much more and more important of a plant here across Ohio, especially within the last couple of decades, becoming much more of a problem. In order to successfully control Japanese honeysuckle, ultimately some type of application of herbicide is going to be needed to treat this plant to keep it from resprouting. So simply cutting the vine out will not adequately control the plant. The flowers of Japanese honeysuckle are a bilobed petal and will typically be somewhat elongated, between 1 inch to 1.25 inches in length. They will begin out as a somewhat of a bright white color, turning a yellow color, pale yellow color. These flowers are very fragrant when they are being produced. Typically they're going to be flowering sometime in the summer, but it is possible for this plant to flower throughout most of the growing season. And with that, thank you for watching and have a great day.